Good morning. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we gather this morning to celebrate commencement on the traditional land of Indigenous people, past and present. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of Patwin people. Today, there are 3 federally recognized Patwin tribes: Kachil-Dihi Band of Wintun Indians of the Calusa Indian Community, Quetzal-Dihi Wintun Nation, and Yocha-Dihi Wintun Nation. The Patwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. It's been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be here today on their traditional lands. I'd like to start by recognizing the many dignitaries who took the time to celebrate with us this morning. Trevor Page, representing Senator Adam Schiff. Senior District Representative Mel Orpilla, representing Congressman John Garamendi. District Director Tiffany Jones and Field Rep Jacob Francisco, both representing the extraordinary Assemblywoman Lori Wilson. We are joined by our County Supervisor, Monica Brown, and I believe in time by Supervisor Cassandra James. We also have our incredible mayor, Mayor Andrea Source. Welcome, Mayor. Thank you for being here. Alejandro Cabrera, the Government Affairs Manager for the Yocha-Dihi Wintun Nation, will be here. I don't know if he's arrived as yet, but if so, welcome. We're joined by Tom and Libby Edwards. These are generous supporters of the Edwards Leadership Development Program. Thank you so much for being here. And we will be joined by Captain McIntyre. Captain McIntyre is a California Maritime Academy Foundation board member, also the first alumna of CSU Maritime to become a state licensed maritime pilot. And so I want to acknowledge Captain McIntyre, but actually all of our alumni. In particular, one of the things that's been amazing to me on this campus is the number of alums who stay on in roles on faculty and staff. We are so grateful for your continued commitment to this institution. If you're able, I would ask all the alums in the room to please stand and be recognized. Before I go too much further, I want to pause and thank all of those who played a role in the integration of these historic institutions. Your dedication, your creativity, and your resilience have carried us to this moment. I know there will still be some work to do, and I know that there's still going to be some bumps along the way. But your work to this point has not gone unnoticed, and we are deeply, deeply appreciative of all you've done. Finally, faculty and staff colleagues, it is my privilege to welcome you to Convocation and an absolute honor for this opportunity to serve alongside you at this extraordinary institution. Convocation is a tradition that calls us together as a community. It's a time to celebrate accomplishments that brought us here, to affirm the values that guide us, and to look ahead to the aspirations we will pursue together. This year's Convocation is particularly meaningful. It marks the first time we gather as Cal Poly Maritime Academy, following the integration of Cal Maritime and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Together, we unite 2 incredible institutions, 2 national leaders in experiential, transformative education. Learn by doing. This is not just an administrative change. This is an inflection point in the history of our institution and the history of the CSU system. This is a bold new course that honors the best of 2 institutions while building something greater that neither could have achieved alone. At Cal Maritime, our strength has always been our distinctiveness as the only state maritime academy on the West Coast. A small, close-knit community grounded in the values of dedication, integrity, respect, responsibility, and trust. Our compass points, intellectual learning, applied technology, leadership development, and global awareness, prepare students not just to succeed in their professions, but to lead with vision and purpose. That will not change. To be clear, this integration allows us to extend and to strengthen those commitments. On Saturday, we welcomed an historic class to this institution. They're first to join us at Cal Poly Maritime Academy, one of the largest classes in our history. They'll be among the first to walk on the new pier, to launch from the boat basin, and they'll be among the first to set sail on the new training ship Golden State. And fittingly, those that graduate in 4 years, and they will graduate in 4 years, will graduate in our centennial year, carrying forth a century-long tradition of excellence. I want to thank everybody who participated in Saturday's move-in. I've been in higher ed for 25 years. I've never seen anything like Saturday. Everybody who participated in any way, thank you. Can you please stand and be acknowledged? I'm excited to be part of this institution because, like everyone in this room, I believe deeply in the transformative value of higher education. What we do here transforms not only the lives of our students and the cadets, but their families and the communities that they come from. For me, this is personal. I'm a Bay Area kid. Throughout my career, I've sought to immerse my students in the history, culture, and industry of this region, a region indelibly shaped by the sea. The San Francisco waterfront, as most of you know, was born in the gold rush, and the site where Harry Bridges led the 1934 West Coast waterfront strike that reshaped labor relations across the country. In Oakland, we pioneered containerization and changed global trade forever. Angel Island was the Ellis Island of the West, Treasure Island built for a global exposition that became a naval base. The San Francisco Bay Area hosted the largest concentration of shipyards in the country, where thousands of women and African Americans changed the entire American workforce here in this community. With facilities in Richmond, Sausalito, Oakland, Hunters Point, the Stockton Channel, and of course, Mare Island, the East Bay became the largest cargo ship producer on the West Coast. Bay Area shipbuilders built 4,600 ships during World War II, accounting for 45% of the cargo ships and 20% of all the tonnage of warships built during the war. Many shipyards also repaired damaged vessels. My grandmother was a shipbuilder in Richmond at the Kaiser Shipyard. I recently learned that many of the Rosie the Riveters were trained at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. I gotta be honest, I don't know if my grandmother's one of them. I'm gonna say she was because it's a better story. But these stories remind us that the Bay Area is not just a place with a maritime past, it is a place where the sea has shaped commerce, community, culture, innovation, and identity. Cal Maritime and now Cal Poly Maritime stand at the heart of this legacy. And as one Cal Poly, we'll have new opportunities, new partners, and new horizons to reach for as we prepare the leaders, the thinkers, and professionals who will carry forward this proud tradition of innovation, resilience, and service. At this time, I'd like to introduce one of those leaders, Colby Hill. Colby is a member of the class of 2026. He's a marine transportation major, president of the Associated Students of Cal Maritime Academy, and is a member of the ASI Cal Maritime Integration Ad Hoc Committee. Colby's going to share some words on behalf of our student body. Colby.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Colby Hill. I am honored to represent the Solano campus student body at this important moment for our university. As Vice President Cook mentioned, I am a marine transportation major, and I just got back last night from my summer sea term with Shaver Transportation at 1 in the morning. These sea terms are a huge part for the cadet experience and essential for preparing us for careers in the maritime industry. In 2024, I spent 65 days aboard the training ship Golden Bear, working with deck operations, standing watch, monitoring navigation, and operating shipboard machinery. I also got hands-on experience with crane operations and vessel familiarization, learning directly from professional officers and crew. This summer, I built on that foundation with Shaver Transportation, which runs one of the most advanced fleets of ship assist tugs and tug and barge tugs up the Columbia and Snake River. It was an incredible opportunity to improve my skills and see the industry up close. I also got to see Cal Maritime alums as mates on those ships. These experiences and the support of our amazing faculty are exactly why I choose this university. And they are so important that the new Cal Poly Maritime Academy succeeds. I want future students to have the same opportunities I've had. I want to see our university thrive. As president of the Associated Students of California Maritime Academy, I have been working closely with our colleagues in San Luis Obispo on the merger between ASCMA and ASI. Together, we are building a unified student governance structure that reflects the needs of both campuses and ensures responsible use of student fees. This merger is another great example of learn by doing. We're building relationships, learning about each other's programs and faculties, and discovering both our shared values and the unique needs of each campus. I've seen my fellow students step up with real commitment to partnership and transparency. I'm excited to be a part of this process and to help shape the future of Cal Poly Maritime Academy, building our strengths and setting the stage for decades of success. Thank you to the faculty and staff from both campuses that are here today. Your guidance means everything to us, and your commitment to our university's future is deeply appreciated. And just as we're merging two student associations, our faculty is working to integrate the Academic Senate. And to tell you more about that, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Jerusha Greenwood, Chair of the Cal Poly Academic Senate and a Professor of Experience Industry Management. Thank you, Professor Greenwood, for being here today. Let's give her a warm Solano campus welcome.
Thank you, Colby. It is an honor to stand before you today at this important marker in this integration journey, our first convocation as a unified Cal Poly. This moment represents not only a new chapter for both the Solano and San Luis Obispo campuses, but also the continuation of our proud tradition of a liberal arts, learn by doing, polytechnic identity. Before looking ahead, I want to pause and acknowledge the hard work that has brought us here. The Cal Maritime Senate, which formally concluded its service on June 30th, 2025, played a pivotal role in this integration. So let's give everybody who served on that important group a hand. I really hope, and those students who are here, Colby, I really hope that they all understand the dedication, wisdom, and commitment of the faculty that really ensured that this transition was done thoughtfully and with integrity. They set a high standard for navigating uncertainty and with steady care and dedication. I also want to extend a heartfelt gratitude for Rachel Fern-Flores. Rachel is our integration manager, and she's been a steady link between our campuses, helping us move forward with clarity and purpose. As we embark on this new journey, I want to applaud the commitment of the Maritime Academy faculty to the importance of a broad education as the foundation of experiential learning and leadership. A Maritime Academy is about far more than just navigating the seas. It's about navigating complexity, leading teams in moments of challenge, and engaging with the broader world of curiosity, resilience, and compassion. The liberal arts, through critical thinking, ethical reflection, and communication, prepare all of us to meet these challenges. And our commitment to experiential learning ensures that education here is not confined to classrooms, but tested, applied, and refined in real-world settings. We shouldn't underestimate the challenges ahead. Integration brings questions, adjustments, and the need for ongoing collaboration. But I am confident in our collective success because we share the same unwavering commitment, which is the success of our students. Through innovative pedagogy, through research that addresses real-world problems, and through the strength of our community, we will ensure that our students are prepared not only for their careers, but for lives of purpose and leadership. Together, we carry forward the legacy of Cal Maritime, the only maritime academy on the West Coast, while embracing the expanded possibilities of being a unified Cal Poly and a maritime academy of the future. I'm deeply optimistic for what lies ahead because I know that we are all working toward the same horizon. Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce Dr. Elizabeth Betts McNee. As part of this process, I've had the privilege of getting to know Professor McNee. She's a maritime transportation professor and a fellow colleague in cafes, and a member of the Academic Senate, and she and I are excited to share our excitement about the broad work ahead this year, and I look forward to hearing her thoughts.
Good morning, everybody. It's an honor to speak with you today as a member of the Academic Senate Executive Committee and as someone who, like many of you, lives at the intersection of ship and shore. I'm a licensed merchant mariner and a professor now proudly serving under our unified banner as Cal Poly Maritime on the Solano campus. To our new cadets, faculty, and staff, welcome aboard. You're joining us during a time of meaningful transformation, and your presence, your ideas, and your energy are exactly what this moment requires. I've now been a part of 3 versions of this institution: California Maritime Academy, California State University Maritime Academy, and now Cal Poly Maritime Academy. As we chart our path forward, we're navigating more than a name change. We're adjusting to a new institutional culture. We're learning the Cal Poly way, and that meetings start 10 minutes after the hour. We're building new partnerships across campuses and programs, all while managing very real operational challenges. Among them, the temporary loss of our training ship during pier construction, an absence that affects not only instruction, but the rhythm of campus life. Watchstanding, plan ops, marine survival training, ship ops, none of these run as they once did. And that demands something from each of us: flexibility, patience, and a willingness to adapt, traits of successful mariners. One of the most pressing challenges we face is recruiting and retaining licensed faculty. This isn't theoretical, it's existential. Our ability to deliver on our mission depends on it. Solving this will take urgency, creativity, and real support across every level of leadership. As we learn to work within a larger system, we're also getting to know our remarkable colleagues at San Luis Obispo. The scale is different, but the shared values are clear: academic excellence, student success, and of course, learn by doing on steroids. But what truly defines our community is resilience and the ability to navigate uncertainty. Every mariner learns early that the fastest route between 2 points on Earth is a great circle. So if you're sailing from San Francisco to Sydney, for example, your most efficient course starts by heading north. It feels counterintuitive. It may look wrong on the chart, but it's the right way forward. We're in that phase now, heading north when we know our destination is due south. It may be disorienting at times, but it's not aimless. It's intentional. And if we trust the process, if we stay in communication, collaborate in good faith, and stay rooted in our academic mission and values, we'll get where we need to go. For those of us who've been here a while, you'll know what I mean when I say faculty on this campus punch above our weight. Our former interim president, Mike Dumont, used to say that about us. And he'd also add that we'd invade your house, raid your refrigerator, drink your beer, and run circles around you. But it's true. We've got grit, we're adaptable, and we have what it takes to prosper during these challenging times. Ultimately, this journey is about people, each of us in this room. Every member of our community must be supported and empowered to contribute. This is when we need to model what it is to be a good shipmate to our cadets and to our students. And now, more than ever, we must move forward with a healthy dose of grace, kindness, and humor. Thank you. Now I'm honored to introduce the president of Cal Poly, Jeffrey D. Armstrong, who will deliver the university address. You're welcome. Thank you.
Will you take that with you?
You bet.
Thank you, Dr. McNee, Betts. I think we could stop right now with all the comments that have been made, and especially our 2 faculty members and our student, but you're not that lucky. It's a real honor to be here and welcome everyone. Our new students back. The capping ceremony was really cool the other day. I learned, stand but don't lock your knees. It was really amazing. And to see the parents, to see the alumni, one young woman turned down a full ride at the Coast Guard Academy to come here, and it's just tradition. It's wonderful. It's great to see our dignitaries here. It's good to see Tom and Libby. Mayor, good to see you. Our supervisors, and then our representatives. Senator Schiff had visited the Cal Poly campus this spring, so we look forward to seeing him, but thank him. And then Mel Orpila, Representative Garamendi's office, I learned in the lobby that he has a son and daughter at Cal Poly, and his father-in-law is a retired EE, electrical engineering faculty member of Cal Poly, and I can't wait to meet him because I heard that he had Al Liddicoat in class. So we're going to be really learning more about that. You know, this is an important milestone as we shape the future of Cal Poly Maritime Academy and the Solano campus. What we do for the next few months will have repercussions for decades. And I'm excited to be with you today as we embark on this 25-26 academic year and continue building something truly extraordinary together. It was only 14 months ago that the CSU proposed integrating our 2 universities. There were 23, now there are 22 in the California State University. It was only 9 months ago in November, after 3 meetings of the Board of Trustees, that it was approved. So who says higher education can't move fast? Who says we're slow? Not Cal Poly Maritime Academy. This progress didn't happen by chance. It was the vision of CSU Chancellor Garcia, her staff, and the CSU Board of Trustees. And I also have to give a shout out to Interim President Mike Dumont and Interim Chancellor Jolene Kester as well. This took a lot of willingness, a lot of faith, and reflect on Beth's comments at the end of yours that we need that grace and collaboration moving forward. So I've learned so much from you about your campus, your traditions, and the maritime industry. Coming from an ag background, I know I'll never match your expertise in engineering and maritime education or Coast Guard licensure, but I bring a deep curiosity and a deep respect for what you do. It's been a great learn-by-doing curve for me, and I know it will continue to be. My wife, Sharon, she's down front here. She took my phone away from me, or I would do a selfie already, so sorry. I'm known for that. But we've been at Cal Poly over 14 years. Over the years, I've often stated publicly that Cal Poly had the highest percentage of STEM in the CSU other than maritime. I'd also say frequently that Cal Poly has the highest starting salaries, highest return on investment for graduates in the CSU, second to Maritime, Cal Maritime. And I've also learned about Cal Maritime over the years. First from President Tom Cropper, and more recently from Interim Mike Dumont, and of course all of you. And of course I'm excited to learn more. I was fortunate through Tom Cropper that I was able to spend a couple of days, Superintendent Jones, on the aircraft carrier Theodore Roosevelt. That was a really exciting experience with the arrested landing, and the catapult takeoff. But now we're together, and the future is really bright. The last few months, especially through this lens of integration, has left me even more impressed with our students, cadet, faculty, staff, alumni, donors, and how we have in the past and how we will continue to impact the economy and national security. I've been inspired by the sight of Golden Bear and cadets disembarking in Kauai, or Golden Bear entering at the port here at the end of that term at sea. Kier, where's Kier? There he's in the back. I did enjoy my trek to the engine room, but I did opt to take the fast way out, and that was quite the stair climb, and it's really hot. I also watched in awe as Golden Bear and our Captain Bannister crew, faculty, and cadets returned in early July, along with a lot of parents. So, Captain Bannister, watching you and the crew directing, bringing Golden Bear to the deck, to the port, to our dock, I'll get the words right. Learn by doing. That was a thrill, and I can't wait. Superintendent Jones, Captain Bannister, I can't wait to see where you're going to take us next year. So Sharon and I have to meet you at least on one part of the trip. So, and I also know how impressed we're going to be with Golden State. Once it arrives, it's the last of those amazing vessels to be built. I'm confident that we'll look back, or others will look back 50 or 100 years from now and marvel at our accomplishments. That's why this year's Convocation theme, Charting Our Course, Navigating Change, Leaning Forward, feels so fitting. It reflects not only our maritime heritage, but also the resilience, vision, and boldness that define this moment. And I also want to borrow some words from one of our vice presidents who's off on a trip today and couldn't be with us, Vice President Terrence Harris. We've been very good as universities. We've set the bar high, but let's be committed to being best of class in all that we do. And that requires student, faculty, and staff success and the support from our community and our donors and government. So you've heard from Corey. He has spent a lot of time listening and learning. I really enjoyed that connection with Rosie the Riveters. But he brings a strong track record of strategic planning, public engagement, transformational leadership in higher education. And I referenced Superintendent Jones, who brings 36 years from the Coast Guard. And we really are glad to have both of you here joining other leaders here at Maritime. And Dinesh Pinisetti, I know, is here as well. Let's give them a big round of applause. And I want to come back to our faculty leaders and all the faculty in the room and those in San Luis Obispo, but our Academic Senate Chair, Jerusha Greenwood, also Bets McNee, Executive Committee member. Thanks for reminding us of what we need to do. And I love that you got to travel sometimes north to go south. I'm going to remind Sharon of that the next time I'm lost in the car, which unfortunately, even with GPS, does happen to me. So it was earlier these 2 years, our academic senates, guided by Jerusha Greenwood and Sarah Saint, glad you're here, Sarah, they voted to integrate in a demonstration of how we all need to move forward. Our academic senate, your faculty, they remain committed to delivering outstanding academic experiences on both campuses. Sarah, Jerusha, Betts, thank you again for your support. I also want to point out and thank Jessica Darren, who's Vice President of Strategic Initiatives and Advocacy at Cal Poly. When we started down this journey, she was still at the Chancellor's office. The Chancellor's office has a track record of, borrowing some Cal Poly employees like Jessica or Al, who led HR. But her involvement in this integration has been essential. And I know mentioned earlier, I want to mention Rachel Fern Flores. Where's Rachel? Also hiding in the back. But really appreciate the work that they're doing. So we're now, as we say sometimes, no good deed goes unpunished. So now Jessica and her team will be working to continue integration, working with Rachel, who will be working with provosts and teams on both campuses in the curriculum, as we look at not just integration or conversion to semesters, but also as we embark first boldly on the Cal Poly campus, so we can use those those high investment facilities year round, and then as we morph and grow here. So those are all exciting. And Colby, thank you. It was great to meet you last year. I spent a little bit of time in the cafeteria. Mike Dumont told me you can't come to campus, you got to be there during lunchtime, and it is a great place to hang out. You are a great representative of our students, and let's give Colby and the rest of our students a big round of applause. And also, there's some other members of the cabinet here: Al Liticote, Allison Baird James, Megan Levitt, Jen Haft. I'm going off script. I wasn't supposed to say all these things. And I mentioned Superintendent Jones and Dinesh Pinisetti. Please give them a big round of applause. But I've got a story, and keep that in mind of all the other things and all the people sometimes who are behind the scenes. But let me say to those of you who are new, we've obviously mentioned some, and those of you who have been with us 1, 2, 3, 13, 15 to 30 years, Bets, you talked about 3 different names of this organization. I want to say thank you to each of you for choosing Cal Maritime, for choosing Cal Poly, and now we have students that have chosen Cal Poly Maritime Academy. And as we grow, we'll need to hire additional faculty and staff, and they'll choose to join this organization. And I can see so much that's exciting. But before I continue, I want to share a brief story. And I know I may get in trouble with an aviation story, but bear with me. It's a story you've heard a lot about, Orville and Wilbur Wright. Several years ago, I read a book about these bike mechanics from Dayton, Ohio, and what they had in mind, the struggles, the achievements, fighting mosquitoes on the North Carolina coast. And I learned of their devotion to learn by doing. Most of us learned that the 2 brothers were aviation pioneers credited with flying the world's first successful airplane. But what we don't know and stop and think about is how the differences made their partnership work. Wilbur was the visionary, outgoing, strategic, and business-minded. Orville was the meticulous engineer. Sound familiar? Quiet, detail-oriented, and deeply focused on the mechanics of flight. Alone, each had brilliance. Together, they had lift. Shortly before his death, Wilbur reflected on their success, saying, "Nearly everything that was done in our lives has been the result of conversations, suggestions, and discussion between us." I think he also meant arguments. If you read the book, there were arguments. So that quote stayed with me, but there's a bit more to this story. There's more to the story. In this case, there was an unsung hero by the name of Catherine Wright, the sister of the Wright brothers. She played a vital role in their success, managing their business affairs, acting as their PR manager, settling disputes, and providing crucial success. So like Orville, Wilbur, and Catherine, we bring different strengths to the university, but we share the same goals: to provide an outstanding educational experience with a high return on investment to the most deserving students, to make sure that we're reaching students from all over California and our 4 states and our 2 territories as well, to offer fair compensation to our faculty and staff who dedicate their careers to higher education, to create vibrant campuses where everyone feels welcome and at home, and to be responsible stewards of this beautiful land and the seas on which we sail. I have complete confidence in our ability to achieve these goals together because our combined strengths are complementary. They're not just complementary, but they're transformative. So as we progress through this transition year, we need everyone to learn and lean into the work, engage in conversations, offer suggestions, compromise when needed, and take the best of what each university offers. And just like the Wright siblings, I believe our partnership will help us soar, will help us sail. I'll digress a moment. Berenicia Ains was invested as the president of CSU LA yesterday, and her departed father had a saying that you want to be an eagle, not a chicken, because a chicken looks down and pecks at the ground, and the eagles soar. So I thought that was a good one. So the status quo is really not enough. We can't achieve our desired goals by standing still. The board and the chancellor recognize that. So our challenge is to honor 96 years of maritime education and excellence while leaning forward into the future. As Corey stated, sometimes that means some things won't change. This also means stabilizing, growing, transforming, and doing it all at pace. Right now, cross-campus teams are working hard to integrate every aspect of university operations, from academics and accreditation to enrollment, student affairs, and technology. We're learning from one another, taking the best of our systems and processes and putting them together. The early results are promising. As a starting point, enrollment and retention are strong. Parents and students have had a very positive initial reaction to the integration. Corey had a great reaction to move-in. And thank you all for helping with move-in. And let's take a moment to thank everyone who helped put this convocation on, from preparing the notebooks to the food to helping with the microphones, the IT, and everything else. Back to enrollment, we have more than 300 new and 550 continuing students, bringing our preliminary enrollment numbers nearly to 900 students. That's on pace for a 25% increase for freshmen and more than 10% increase in enrollment this year. And we're going to continue and work on faculty and staff recruitment. Our teams are seeing success already, identifying cost savings, efficiencies, and enhancements that make us stronger. Let me give you a few examples. University development and alumni engagement determined that by consolidating alumni databases using Maritime's technology, we can reduce costs and improve communication with alumni. Through a collaborative effort between Cal Poly partners and administrative and finance teams, we extended our dining services contract across both campuses and on Golden Bear, improving food quality and menu options while lowering costs. And we can attest, we had some good meals on Golden Bear, didn't we? University Communication and Marketing created a cohesive brand identity that reflects the integration into the Cal Poly family while honoring Maritime's unique character, mission, and history. The new website, Just the Beginning, provides students, faculty and staff and supporters with a unified identity and message. These are just a few examples of how we're coming together, bringing the best from both campuses to build a stronger, unified Cal Poly. So this theme of growth and transformation isn't new to either campus. Let me share a few examples from our San Luis Obispo campus. Our physical space has been a constraint to our growth. For the 25-26 academic year, we received almost 80,000 applications. We could only accommodate about 6,000 students. That meant we turned away almost 32,000 qualified applicants from high school, some transfers. We don't like saying no to students, especially California students, who are ready to succeed. So the team has gotten creative about how we can educate more students. And let me share these examples, and these are some that we can replicate, but also learn from here. We have a 2+2 program with local community colleges that allows students to complete a Cal Poly degree in their own space, for example, Santa Maria. So that allows us to expand the degree using other facilities. We relocated our administrative offices to our Cal Poly Business Park about 7 miles away by the airport. That was an existing building which we were able to obtain at a very reasonable rate. Thank you, Allison and team. And after we did that and the integration happened, well, those electrons don't really care whether it's 7 miles or 250 miles. So that has helped us free up space on campus for classrooms and faculty offices. We have several projects underway that will add space or enhance student success. Kennedy Library renovation. We have a separate animal and plant science buildings. The John Madden Football Center. I know you from the Solano campus know the Madden family, East Bay, a Cal Poly grad. And we're also in the planning stages, and we'll break ground next year for the Linda and Stuart Resnick Student Success Center. That's going to double the size of our career services facility. We're building new housing for students, and we're also building housing for faculty. We have some that was built in the early 2000s, and we're adding more. We're also expanding child care facilities we have on campus. That partner spousal accommodations are big issues for our locations, so we're working on those. In summer of '27, as I mentioned, we'll move more into year-round operations. That's going to make better use of our housing, dining, as well as the high investment facilities. An important aspect of the year-round is going to provide internship opportunities year-round. Now, fast forward, Golden State is here, and you can see we'll have students going back and forth. It'll be really exciting how we can do this. These changes and others are helping us meet, in many cases, exceed our enrollment targets and bring in new sources of revenue. It's not been easy, but we don't shy away from the hard work. We take on the tough projects, and we work to make them happen. So why does this matter here? Because our goals are the same: to educate more students, to do it more efficiently, find new revenue streams, and invest in our highest priorities, student success and our employees. This is exactly what we'll do here at this Solano campus. We won't replicate everything at San Luis Obispo, but we'll work together with innovative solutions brought forward by Vice President Cook and his team to recruit new faculty, grow enrollment, diversify funding, and create long-term financial stability for Cal Poly Maritime Academy. And we'll continue to find savings as we share administrative services. But cost-cutting alone won't get us where we need to go. We really have to think about growth and investment, and that requires investment. Growth and excellence, and that requires investment. So what could the future look like? Our academics will be stronger than ever as we integrate and enhance our curriculum and recruit additional faculty to educate a workforce ready day one to meet the evolving demands of our global economy. That also includes recruiting staff that are important, many cases those unsung heroes that are working directly or indirectly with students. We will grow in size and stature. We're aiming for at least a 10% enrollment increase each of the next few years here on this campus, as we are the only maritime academy on the West Coast, and those other states and those territories, they consider us their maritime academy. Student success will continue to be a priority. It will create a kind of virtuous cycle of success, recruiting and retaining top students, faculty, and staff. And as you said, Dr. McNee, that special issue of licensure and the requirement to be a faculty. Providing a comprehensive, compelling educational experience. And let me digress here because we can learn from each other. We've called it Learn by Doing. You've been doing Learn by Doing, haven't called it that. But the thing that I noted early on about Cal Maritime that we need to replicate across our university is that every student gets that international experience, and every student gets that internship, just like Colby returning at 1 a.m. this morning from that experience this summer, and he's going to class. Tomorrow? Okay. He was quick to say yes. So this means we also secure strong on-time graduation and placement rates, and again, increases the value of that Cal Poly Maritime degree. The more we see the value of the Cal Poly degree appreciate, the easier it will be to attract all the top talent for our students, faculty, and staff. And all of this fuels that cycle. And it also fuels the financial aid that we need to make sure that students from all across California and students from the other states can come here to this destination campus, because only so many can commute. So we want to be, Mayor, clear stewards of place, but also bring students from across California. Our student fees in 26 will mirror that of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and that will drive that financial support that I talked about during the transition phase. This additional funding provides revenue to further invest in scholarship support, and then we're working with partnerships with the 4 Pacific-facing states and territories to work to make sure that Cal Poly Maritime is achievable for them as well. Another really important point is Cal Poly Maritime, the Solano campus, will continue to be a strong partner across this region. Vice President Cook, Superintendent Jones, Associate Vice President and Academic Affairs Lead for the Solano campus, Dinesh Pinisetti, many others, Graham Benton, many of the rest of you in the room, will work with faculty and staff to engage with leaders across the region to develop a strategic plan. Here's some of the areas that we'll explore. Opportunities with business and industry to ensure, including organizations like California Go Biz, government, to ensure the university supports workforce development needs. Needs for a growing maritime industry. This is a state and a national priority. This includes robust engagement to grow philanthropic support for Cal Poly Maritime Academy, and we're deeply appreciative for the support in the past. And again, Tom and Libby, thank you, and let's give them another round of applause. Partnerships with government, I'd alluded to that, but I want to point it out. At the federal, state, county, and the city of Vallejo, that level to contribute to a growing and robust regional economy. Further collaboration with community colleges, including Solano Community College, to serve the entire spectrum of the workforce development. Because these shipyards you think about, they may need 25, 30% engineers or those with a BS. They're going to need the rest in the trades and working hard. But they all need that connection to maritime. We'll also engage our local and statewide alumni to continue to get involved with Cal Poly Maritime Academy, and we'll also continue to seek grants and other funding sources. So I know that change can feel unsettling. What we're doing is unprecedented at the CSU, and we're doing it faster than anyone thought possible. I think we're doing it pretty well, and I give the credit to all of you in this room. This is learned by doing in action. But in the midst of the day-to-day, as you're preparing for classes tomorrow, answering student questions, I invite you to take a breath, look up, and let's imagine the horizon. What people might say years and years from now. They'll see how we grew in size and stature, how we added faculty and staff, including enhanced pay and attention to housing and other needs, strengthened and modernized academic programs to prepare thousands of students for essential careers in the maritime industry of today and for the future. They'll see a thriving, financially strong Cal Poly with 2 campuses, cutting-edge technology, use of AI, and deep partnerships with all levels of government and industry. They'll see the impact of this partnership on economic development in the state and the nation, as well as contributing to national defense. Collectively, these partnerships, including K-12 community colleges, including the Waterfront Coalition, will contribute to the growth in maritime in this region. They will see a vibrant, inclusive community with that new ship. As Captain Bannister and President Dumont used to say, the largest classroom, the largest building on campus. And we'll see that the esteem for this degree and our students and alumni will grow. And most of all, we'll see that Cal Poly graduates are ready day one, recognized not only for their technical skills, but for their leadership, integrity, communication, and problem-solving skills. So, as I conclude, change is never easy. It requires courage, collaboration, and a willingness to lean forward even when the waters are uncertain. And it's also important, just like those right siblings, to understand and appreciate everyone's role and to appreciate those unsung heroes. I believe in this community. I believe in our shared purpose, and I believe that together we're not just merging campuses, we're charting a bold new course for Cal Poly Maritime Academy. Thank you for choosing Cal Poly. Thank you for choosing Cal Maritime, and for choosing to join us in charting our course, navigating change, and leaning forward. So let's go Mustangs, and I'll turn it back to Corey Cook.
Thank you, President Armstrong, for your extraordinary leadership and your inspiring words today, and for laying out such a clear and compelling vision for where our future will be as one Cal Poly. As I reflect on your remarks, I think about what I can do and what we in this room can do to help make that vision a reality. This moment is without question an inflection point in our history. I like the phrase inflection point because it reminds us that history is not linear. There are moments when a community must make bold choices, take a new direction, chart a new course. The key is that's a choice. Cal Maritime has done this before. I just completed reading the 90-year anniversary book. For those of you who don't have this, I believe they've been stored in my office for the last several years, so I have several handy if you want to come by and grab them. Founded in 1929 as the California Nautical School, it was founded without any resources attached to it. There was no funding when it started. That didn't occur until 1936 when Congress passed the Merchant Marine Act. In 1939, the California Nautical School changed its name to California Maritime Academy. By 1940, it was granting Bachelor of Science degrees and Naval Reserve commissions to its graduates and transitioned from a trade school to a college. In 1943, in the midst of World War II, it moved its location from Tiburon to Vallejo. Another bold choice, a permanent home that anchors us today. In 1973, we became the first maritime academy in the nation to enroll women in our licensed maritime programs, expanding opportunity and excellence. In 1974, we transitioned to 4-year undergraduate programs. In 1995, we joined the CSU system. Each of these moments was an inflection point. Each of these moments was a choice. So nearly a century after our founding, we face another inflection point. As I noted, this is more than administrative alignment. It's an inflection point that will shape the future of our campus, the future of the maritime industry, the future of the Bay Area, and the future of the world. Just as before us, people made choices that were bold to secure our future, we get to embrace this moment with dedication, honor, integrity, respect, responsibility, and trust. This is our moment. And as President Armstrong alluded to, we get to write the next chapter together. So this summer, I took my son Carter to Bottle Rock. You'll get a chance to meet Carter because he is fascinated by the ship. So, Captain, you will probably get to know him well. I took Carter to Bottle Rock because he wanted to hear Noah Kahan, who's like one of his favorite performers. And those of you who know him, he's a great show. He sings a song called Everywhere, Everything, which is an amazing song. It is also a terrible strategic plan. Now, I was told not to use the word strategic plan. I'm understanding there might be some feelings around that term. So instead, a strategic blueprint that we designed together. But we're going to work together collaboratively to embrace President Armstrong's vision. And we're going to develop a strategic blueprint for our campus that makes choices, that sets priorities, much in the way that I think Beth's articulated earlier. There are immediate choices that we have to make that will set our course. We're going to set priorities and reasonable goals, and everyone in this room will be invited to participate in that process. As we expand access and opportunities for students to study on campus, including critically that we expand those pipelines from traditional maritime communities, Vallejo, Bayview's Hunters Point, West Oakland, Antioch, and where my dad grew up, South 28th Street in Richmond. How do we do that while deepening our commitment to academic excellence, universal student success, and ensuring that every student experiences our campus as a healthy and safe community and feel a sense of belonging? As we prepare the next generation of leaders for the global workforce, how will we partner with our incredible civic leaders, many of whom are here today, to catalyze, grow, and manage a robust regional maritime workforce ecosystem in the Bay Area? There's incredible momentum right now around shipbuilding in the United States, and we've been grateful to all the leaders in the room who are helping to make that a reality. As we prepare for this burgeoning growth, how do we do so in collaboration with the trades, the community colleges, and public and private partners who want to join us, so that we're aligned with industry needs, we're providing diverse educational pathways, we're carefully tailoring training programs to reskill and upskill existing workforces, as well as equip new degree recipients and new degree-seeking students with the professional, technical, and leadership skills they need to be successful. As we look to the future, how will we invest and grow strategically and with intention? Yes, we should embrace the immense promise and potential of the blue economy. From designing and building the next generation of ships, serving global trade and security, to harnessing the power of waves, tides, currents, and offshore wind for renewable energy, the ocean itself is becoming a laboratory for innovation. It holds answers to some of the world's most pressing challenges, from how to feed a growing planet through sustainable aquaculture, how to heal the unwell with medicines and materials discovered in marine organisms, how to reduce the carbon in our atmosphere and fuel industries with bio-based alternatives. This moment is an exciting one, but we cannot embrace the song, Everything Everywhere. Our oceans hold the energy, medicines, and trade routes that will define the century ahead. The blue frontier will shape our future as much as the space frontier shaped our past. And here at Cal Maritime Academy, we have both the history and expertise to prepare our students to lead in this new era, to navigate the ships, technologies, and industries of tomorrow. So this is our moment to honor our past and co-create our future. That future will be written by all of us together. In the next few weeks, you'll hear from Admiral Jones and me. We will invite you to participate in some open and collaborative dialogues and conversations so that we can hear your priorities and learn from you. We are both still on a very steady and very steep learning curve. But we'll invite you to participate in that process in alignment with President Armstrong's vision of one crew and one Cal Poly. Again, with dedication, honor, integrity, respect, responsibility, and trust, we look forward to working together to chart a bold new course for Cal Poly Maritime Academy. Thank you, and welcome to the start of an extraordinary year.